Virtual, augmented, and mixed reality media are all the rage these days. But do you know the difference between them? These platforms can be quite similar in that they all feature elements of virtual worlds. In fact, augmented and mixed reality are often referred to as types of virtual reality. Let's begin by explaining each one. Virtual reality generally uses special headsets and sometimes haptic devices to generate images, sounds, and other realistic sensations that simulate a three-dimensional physical presence in a virtual environment.
My entire body is submitted into virtual reality right now.
A person using virtual reality equipment can interact with the system's artificial world as if it were real. Virtual reality can also incorporate haptic technology to create the sensation of touch. One example of the use of virtual reality would be to create a walkthrough simulation of the inside of a new building for architectural or sales purposes. Next up is augmented reality, a type of virtual reality. Whereas virtual fully immerses the user into a simulated world, augmented reality essentially overlays virtual objects onto the real-world environment. Think Pokémon Go, one of the most successful augmented reality apps. While virtual reality uses headsets, augmented reality is viewed through a flat screen. In augmented reality, the real and virtual worlds are combined to enhance the real world. Augmented reality is often combined with location data, for example, to overlay information about stores, restaurants, etc. onto digital maps. Finally, mixed reality merges real-world objects into virtual reality. It is similar to VR in that users wear a headset, watch the screen in front of their eyes, and have their movements tracked so they can move around in the virtual world. Where MR differs from VR is in using a system of front-mounted cameras that can add real-world objects to the virtual world or virtual objects to the real world. MR is designed to make users feel like they are a participant in the action rather than a spectator. There are two main forms of MR. In one, the virtual content is not only overlaid on the real environment, but is anchored to and interacts with that environment. Another form of MR allows users to see and interact with a completely virtual environment, overlaid on the real world around them. One example of mixed reality is remote working. An employee can wear a headset and join an immersive virtual meeting and participate as if he is actually there. Today, virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality can all serve entertainment or educational purposes. But how did they come to be? Virtual reality has a long and complex history. Elements of virtual reality have existed since the 1860s, when Antonin Artaud argued that illusion was not distinct from reality, therefore concluding that spectators could view theater as a form of virtual reality. However, if we are looking at the history of actual virtual reality display systems for immersive simulation applications, the first one was created in 1968 by Ivan Sutherland and Bob Spruill. At the time, the head-mounted display system was so heavy that it had to be suspended from the ceiling, and the graphics were quite primitive. Because of this, it was named the Sword of Damocles. Other inventors gradually improved on virtual reality systems, and from 1970 to 1990, the technology was mostly used for medical, flight simulation, automobile industry design, and military training purposes. Then 1979 saw the introduction for the Large Expanse Extra Perspective Optical System by Eric Howlett.
Eric Howlett, the famous inventor of the LEAP.
This system became the foundation for most modern virtual reality headsets. After successive innovations by other virtual reality pioneers, the 1990s saw the first widespread commercial releases of consumer VR headsets. By 2016, at least 230 companies were developing virtual reality products, and big tech companies such as Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Sony, and Samsung had all introduced their own virtual reality platforms. Augmented reality and mixed reality, on the other hand, are newer concepts. They were both invented in 1992 as part of the Virtual Fixtures system, developed in the U.S. Air Force's Armstrong Laboratory. This was the first fully immersive augmented reality system. Before this, 3D graphics systems were too slow to present a realistic and spatially accurate augmented reality. With today's advanced technology and high data transfer speeds, virtual, augmented, and mixed realities have unlimited applications and possibilities.